Hi everyone, I thought I would do a video today on how to feed elderly giant African land snails. So this is Rick, he's my elderly gentleman. I've just touched him, that's why he's gone inside. And what I'm doing today is feeding him some of his food. I prepare his food specially each day because if I give him like the solid piece of carrot or cabbage leaves or anything like that, he won't eat it. He'll try, but he doesn't seem to get very far. But Rick is 5 years old, well, nearly 5. So he's quite an elderly gentleman. In fact, I think he's already 5. Let me just check my calendar. About a year old when I got him, so he is actually 5. I've had him for 4 years, but he is 5 years old. So yeah, he's an elderly gentleman and he won't eat anything solid anymore. He won't do cuttlefish anymore, so I have to give him calcium powder. So what I do is I get some calcium powder in a little dish, mix it with a little bit of water to make like a big calcium cake, and he has that. In fact, I'll put one in here. I've made some smaller ones because I do use them for the baby snails as well, and he loves the calcium powder because he has been struggling to get enough calcium because obviously he's not very good at rasping anymore, but he likes the calcium cakes and he has specially prepared food. So what I do is any vegetables that I'm going to put in the tanks for the other snails, what I do first is I put them through the blender for Rick. So the big snails have all got the vegetables in their solid form. Apart from carrots, I always have to blitz up carrots. They don't seem keen on working on carrots. They'd rather have it when it's like grated or blended up. But all their other veggies are, you know, it's just the vegetable chopped up a bit smaller. But Rick, I put it in the blender, run it through the blender to make it really small, mix it with plenty of water. There's a few little oats in there as well because he likes those and it encourages him to eat the snail mix more. So I give him blended up food every day. So today it's carrot, cabbage and grapes that are blended up together with a few little porridge oats flakes as well. On a day where he has protein, then it's a mixture of fish food flakes and vegetables that have been blitzed up. What I do is blitz up the vegetables, put it in the tank, and then I'll sprinkle the fish flakes on top. I'll vary what he has. So the other day it was mango and carrot. The day before that it was cabbage, grapes, and parsnip. And I do rotate through the vegetables, as many vegetables as I can get hold of. And then the other day when it was really hot, he had some cucumber mixed in as well. He will still eat cucumber in its like sort of unblitzed form, because he's always been addicted to cucumber, so I do only give it to him as a very rare treat. What I tend to do with cucumber is I'll give the snails a couple of slices of cucumber when it's the summer so that they've got plenty of hydration, especially for the babies, because obviously they're not going to have a water bowl and a constant source of water like the big ones. And yeah, as you can see, he's very interested in the calcium biscuit. He absolutely loves it. I did him a bowl of calcium powder and he's already ate through all of that, so he's obviously planning on working on shell growth. And he probably is a little bit deficient because of obviously struggling with the cuttlefish, but I've always put calcium biscuits and cuttlefish in his tank. I think he doesn't seem to move around very much now. Like he'll spend all day sitting in the same spot. So I think he wasn't getting to the calcium as much, but he will now. But yeah, I mean, he still seems perfectly healthy. He had lost a bit of weight and he's put all that back on. So I'm finding since giving him the mashed up diet, he's putting weight on and thriving. Obviously he's like a little 90-year-old man, so he's not going to do a lot, and he's more susceptible than the others. So the reason for that reason, I've separated him off, because the last time Rick laid a batch of eggs, it nearly killed him. And I say him just out of habit, but obviously all snails are hermaphrodite. They've all got male and female parts. But I've always called Rick him, so it's just the pronoun I've chose for him. Should be they really, but never mind. It's because I've always known him as Rick. But yeah, the last batch of eggs, it took him nearly a week to lay them, and then he was very lethargic. He lost weight. He wouldn't eat at all for about a week after laying the eggs. He wouldn't eat. I was having to take him out and hand feed him. So basically I was having to hold little bits of mushed up food right by his face to encourage him to nibble, or sit him in a dish like this so he's just sat on top of water and food, and then he'd nibble a little bit, but he was really lethargic, and I thought he was going to go into deep retraction, which he didn't, fortunately. So yeah, I'll keep him separate now so that he won't breed anymore. Because obviously I think if he does another batch of eggs, I think it'll kill him off, which obviously I don't want. So he's in his retirement home, as I call it. So he's got his own tank, which has got a hiding, plenty of sphagnum moss, water dish, food dish, plenty of substrate to burrow in, even though he can't be bothered to burrow anymore. And obviously he has the specially prepared food for him. So yeah, he's in retirement, and yeah, he gets to have a nice, peaceful, calm life. And if you're wondering about snails being on their own, they're fine. They don't really notice. They just get excited when they come across another snail and want to breed, but when they're on their own, they don't really, there's no problem. I've never had a problem with, because when your snails obviously get old, there's always going to be the one last one you've got left, and I've never found them to particularly have a problem. They're not particularly social animals. So he's quite happy in his little retirement home, eating his specially prepared food like a little old man. So yeah, that's how you can feed an elderly giant African land snail. Hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. I will do more snail mix recipes, but I've already made this one up, so I'll do it when I next make some. But it's dead easy. It's literally just stick normal veg you'd feed everyone else in a blender. So yeah, hope you found this video useful. Hope this helps if you have an elderly gentleman like Rick, and you're wondering how on earth to get them to have enough calcium and food. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.